welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about money. So I'm really excited that we're talking about money today because 2020 is really the year of just getting things on track financially for me. For as long as I've ever had money or encountered money, I've just had a really maybe unhealthy relationship with money. Saving who? Saving why? Saving for what? Save? And it wasn't until 2018 or honestly just last year where I discovered, Dave Ramsey, and I discovered budgeting, and that really just changed my outlook on finances. There was a period of time where I wasn't making money, and it opened me up to the idea, wow, I really do not need to be spending money the way that I was spending money. But as I was reflecting on 2020, I realized that, money and finances was a big thing that I wanted to have a better grasp of in 2020. I had been budgeting and things like that, but I really wanted to take things to a different level. So I wrote down 9 tips about how you and I, because I'm in this with you guys, 9 tips on how we can stop spending so much flipping money in 2020. Gone are the days that we're like, where did my money go? No more. And I've implemented all of these things so far, and it's the first time in my life where I'm actually spending less than I am budgeting. So one thing that I have to say before even getting started on the tips is I feel like you really have to know your why. Why am I doing this? Why am I trying to spend less? I feel like that why allows us to keep on going forward and enables us to actually stick to our budget rather than just creating a budget and then doing whatever the heck that we want to do. For me, my big thing is I wanted to save a certain amount of money, 1, and 2, I really just wanted to stop accumulating things or buying things out of emotion. So yeah, I'm not a financial expert by any means, but just a girl who is trying to get her finances right. So my first tip is to partake in a spending freeze. So a spending freeze essentially means that you are not buying non-essential items for a week, 2 weeks. You really get to pick the amount of time. So essential things are obviously, your bills, your housing costs. Make sure that you have, gas in your car or that you have money on your metro, subway, or bus card. So this freeze means that there will be no eating out, no shopping, no buying non-essential items. So, no coffees in the morning, no getting your nails done. And this gives so much discipline when you start realizing that you can go a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days without spending money. So before the freeze, go through your cabinets, check your fridge. You might have a lot of things in there that you just haven't utilized. Another thing with the freeze, give yourself a small budget for that week or 2 weeks or whatever. So whether you're giving yourself a budget of $25 or $40, because sometimes things come up, so it's good to just have a little bit of cushion. I did a 2-week freeze in January. I did not spend any money on non-essential things. I literally only spent $25. That has never happened to me before, so for me, I was like, so my second tip is to stop over grocery shopping. So I know that I'm not the only one who has gone to the grocery store with zero plan. I end up walking through the aisles, picking out random things. I get back to my apartment and I'm like, what did I even buy? I don't know what to eat. The spinach is sitting in my fridge for 2 weeks. And then I end up buying food out because I feel like I didn't really buy anything. So one tip for that is to plan out the meals that you're going to have for that week. Write down in your journal what you want for breakfast, lunch, and dinner that week, and what you even want to snack on. And this might sound super tedious and super like, what? That's just a lot of effort, but I really feel like if we want to make that change, sometimes we have to do those extra steps, even though it might seem silly. So by planning those meals and knowing exactly what ingredients you need, you're laser focused on going to those aisles. We're not picking up things that aren't on our list. If you go to the grocery store and you see something that looks so good, which happens to me every single time that I'm in Trader Joe's, then just keep it in mind for your next week's meal. Literally spending money on food outside has been the bane of my existence. 2020 is the year of home cooked meals. Like, there's rice at home. There's literally rice at home. Before January, I used to honestly hate cooking. I hated cooking so much, but I decided that by force I will learn to cook. I will start cooking because I can't be buying food out. It's just not a sustainable thing for me. And for me personally, I actually decided to then fit HelloFresh into my budget. So because of that, my budget for eating out is so minimal. Just running to Starbucks and getting a quick snack, it seems like no big deal. When you see that it's such a small amount, you keep on doing it. And before you know it, it's like this week I spent $20 on these really cheap snacks. Cheap really adds up. So one thing I've been doing is budgeting to be able to eat out, whether it's once a week or once every 2 weeks. Eating out is only something that will happen if I'm maybe with a friend or with someone, rather than me just not cooking. But it's not by force that I need to get the $35 salmon dinner. When you're out, you can go get, a tea, you can get a small appetizer, some soup. So for me, I live in DC. So many things are revolved around food, but this is the year of let's go over each other's apartments. I'll come to yours, you want to come to mine? Because not every activity has to be revolved around food. So tip number 5 is trying to sell or get rid of clothes, accessories, or different items. So you can implement a system that if you want to get new clothes, then just make sure that you sell and get rid of whether it's your old clothes, old accessories, shoes, whatever. There are so many sites out there now like Depop, Poshmark, eBay, Craigslist, just all these different sites where you are able to sell stuff online. And there's also some stores in person like Crossroads or Buffalo Exchange, and I've used literally all of those things to sell my clothes. I use Depop the most, and that's something that I use regularly to get rid of clothes. So that way, if you are selling stuff, it's nice because then you're not actually using money directly out of your own paycheck. And obviously there's times where sometimes we just really want new clothes, or it's a new season or something, and maybe we can't sell or get rid of something. But I guess the key is just to be super mindful when shopping, not going shopping when emotional or upset or whatever the case might be, because that's happened to me before. And when I first started working, I thought I was good because I would budget a section for shopping. I was like, oh, this is good because I'm budgeting. But if my savings aren't intact, if I'm not where I want to be financially, must I go shopping every 2 weeks? No, because that money could have gone to my savings. And now it's kind of like I have an idea of what I want in my mind, so I might go and pick up one thing, but not like a big shopping splurge. So when you really do itch to buy something new, a great idea is to go thrifting. Some of my all-time favorite pieces and my most worn pieces have been something that I picked up from a thrift store. You honestly can get upwards 10 items for like $50, and the great thing about thrifting is that you'll be getting unique pieces. But with everything, I've learned that no, I still have to be very selective and very strategic when I go thrifting, because just because something is cheap does not mean that I need it. So just evaluating every piece and being like, do I love this? How many things can I wear this with? Has helped me to thrift sustainably, where I'm not just collecting clothes just because of the price, but because I truly love the piece. And one great thing to do is to try and go thrifting on public holidays, because that's when they have even bigger discounts. So tip number 7 is to take out cash. It is so easy to spend money when you're spending on a card, and you can just swipe without any remorse, without any regret. So I think this tip was really helpful for me when I first started budgeting, because I have a section in my budget for miscellaneous things, and that's things like eating out, that's things like maybe getting certain beauty products, or just for doing like fun things on the weekends. If I kept that money in my account, it was so easy for me to swipe left and right. I would always take cash out, that way I could literally see what I had. Now that I've been budgeting for a bit longer, I don't take out cash as much, but it's something that I definitely want to go back to doing. So my 8th tip is to focus on debt and savings. If you're working a job where you do get direct deposit, a great thing would be setting up your direct deposit so that a certain amount of money directly goes into a savings account. This way you don't even have to think about that money. It's like out of sight, out of mind. When you're budgeting and when you're figuring out your expenses, that savings money has already been taken out. So you're automatically going to be spending less because there's less money in your account. And I've fallen into the trap of saying, you know what, I'll just put money into my savings at the end of my spending. I'll put whatever is left into my savings, but what if nothing is left? So the 9th tip is to really assess your priorities. Go through your checking account and go through the last month or 2 months and kind of just assess what you've been spending your money on, and see if there's things that you have been spending your money on that you realize I can actually do without this, or maybe I should just not spend so much on this. So maybe there's some beauty treatments that you do that you're like, oh, you know what, like I can actually do this myself. Or if I can't do them myself, maybe I don't need to be going to do this like once a week. For me, my thing is that I would always go and get my nails done, acrylics, and I realized, you know what, stick-on nails are the way to go for me in 2020. So for example, these that I have on right now are stick-ons, and you can't really even tell. So that's my thing that I'm giving up. But if there's something in your budget that, might be a bit much or might be a splurge or whatever, but it's something that you really love, then it does make sense to keep it in your budget if it's something that's super important to you. Like maybe there's a certain workout class that you love, maybe it's a kickboxing class or whatever that you're like, I really love going. I think it's a good idea to keep it, as long as whatever that thing isn't causing you to go into debt or something, but just reassess maybe other ways in your budget. So for me, for example, every paycheck I take out 10% for tithing to my church, and that's something that, that is a big expense that does take a decent amount of money out of my paycheck, but it's something that's important to me and it's something that I'm going to keep doing. So because of that, it's like you just have to really reassess the rest of your budget and see other things that you can maybe reduce or cut out in order to keep those certain expenses. I feel like I need to make up a 10th tip or something, but that's all I got for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that this video was helpful to you in any way. I'm really excited for 2020 to be a year to really just get things on track financially, and I'm excited for us. I definitely still have ways to go. Every day is a new day to keep walking this thing out and to reaching our financial goals. So let's keep on, encouraging each other. If you have any other tips, please leave them down below. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one.